Okay, so every transformation journey comes with uncertainty, right? Great leaders are not those who have all the answers. They are the ones who know how to move forward despite uncertainty. Our next speaker draws inspiration from timeless epics and combines it with real enterprise transformation experience to share practical lessons for today's AI leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Subrahmanyam Chandragiri, aka Subu, for our next session, leading AI transformation under uncertainty lessons from epics. Over to you, Subbu.
Thank you. Am I audible? Cool. So I would like to begin with a question. I would like you to carry this question till the end of this session. Think of one important decision you are facing now. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell anyone in this room. Think of one important decision you are facing now. It could be anything. It could be about your job. It could be about your family. It could be about an AI initiative. Or it could be as simple as saying yes when you actually want to say a no. We as humans make decisions under uncertainty, and yet we judge ourselves harshly when things go wrong. How many of you agree with this? Because everyone in this room is a leader, not by the designation or not by the title, but because we all take decisions that shape a future. We lead careers, we lead our families, we choose the values we live by. So till the end of this session, don't evaluate my ideas, but evaluate that decision. Can I have this slide? So you got some more time for you to think of that important decision you are facing now. And this is exactly the uncertainty which I am talking about. So you can see the title. Yes, this session is about AI. And AI is just the backdrop. The real subject is how humans make decisions when certainty disappears. And you can find the caption lessons from the epics. How many of you heard the Ramayana and Mahabharata, at least the words? Almost every one of you. Don't worry, even if you are not familiar, that's absolutely fine because I'm not here to teach you the ancient history. But I'm inviting you to stand at the position where the previous decision makers once stood, because the uncertainty they faced is almost similar to the uncertainty we are facing today. Before we dive into those epics and get inspired from them, let's look at one real example. That silence in the room. So that is exactly the silence that will fill a boardroom when an AI assisted decision produces an output which is completely unexpected. It could be multiple reasons, whether some edge case has not been tested or the data is not proper, or sometimes the model is correct but then the organization is not ready to accept that outcome. So before we discuss any further on this thing, how many of you have worked or working on any AI initiative in your organization? Please raise your hands. Almost every one of us. Now keep the hands raised, it's like an exercise. Now keep your hands raised. If at all the pilot worked, demo is impressive. Wow, it becomes your ways of working. Fantastic. And any one of you is part of these boardroom discussions like this? Okay, couple of you. So that's the silence which we are describing. The product embraced AI, engineering built using AI, and operations deployed using AI. Everybody celebrated until one day, one prediction, one recommendation, and one decision went exactly unexpected. And everybody is brought into this room. That's the silence which we are describing. Because nobody wants to own it. Three symptoms appears during that situation: no ownership, no alignment, no explainability. Three symptoms, but one leadership gap. Because when AI is right, we celebrate the technology. But when AI goes wrong, we look for accountability and a human. So the problem is no longer AI, it's about humans. We as humans always have challenge in owning the responsibility, or we have challenges with uncertainty, or with taking up ownership. So when I asked myself, if we are not the first generation to face such situations, our previous generations must have faced them in one or other way. Unfortunately, organizations usually don't record how they navigated through the uncertainty, but our ancestors did. The Ramayana and Mahabharata, the epics which we are reading still today, because they have some remarkable leaders who took decisions under uncertainty, which we are going to discuss, and how we are going to get inspired from them. So when I asked myself, like, if we are the only generation who are facing it, and if previous generation haven't faced, I am not looking for technology earlier. I am looking for the people. The leaders who took decisions that produced outcomes completely unexpected. That's not mythology. That's not a metaphor. That is decision making under uncertainty. For thousands of years, people read those texts for various reasons. Today, I would like you to read them as leadership case studies. Because they are not stories, they are the most honest records of leadership under pressure. And they are not different situations, because those situations are exactly similar to what we are facing today, and they are not ancient. They are tested across time. The world has changed, the workspaces have changed, the weapons have changed, but the human uncertainty, it didn't. So where do we begin? We are not going to discard them completely, but we are going to build on it. So we are not going back in time. We are just building on those who mastered uncertainty before us. So let's try to get inspired from two leaders who faced uncertainty in two complete different situations. So uncertainty don't come the same way all the time. Let's begin with Ram. He was Prince of Ayodhya one evening, getting ready to become a king. He's getting prepared. Suddenly everything changed overnight. And the next day morning, he's walking in the forest. No roadmap, no warnings, no time to prepare. On the other hand, Pandavas saw that coming. Conflicts were rising, tension was building, there were clear warnings, but still they couldn't stop it. Sound similar? Something which Pramod said exactly a few minutes ago. Some uncertainties happen overnight. A layoff, that 6 a.m. mail which is popular in LinkedIn. Some layoffs, some restructuring messages, You come from lunch, they take you to a conference room and they simply say your role is no longer valid. How many of you at least heard such situations in your organizations or at least in LinkedIn? No time to prepare, right? And some health diagnostics, maybe some heart attack, or some of our colleague who actually maybe as a guy I can say shared some drinks with us previous night. Monday morning we wake up and then they say, okay, he is no more. So some uncertainties happen overnight. And some things you see them coming. Maybe the product roadmap is coming to an end, a merger, or maybe AI changing your role. So Rama's life tells us how to move when you have nothing. And Pandavas tells us how to move when you see that coming. So think of that decision which you brought into this room for a few seconds. Now try to figure out where you stand. Are you in the Ram moment or are you in the Pandavas moment? Because that answer is exactly going to determine your next steps. This is not a rhetorical question because the next slide is exactly going to answer depending upon in which moment you are in. So the Monday morning thing, go to your team and ask them, are we in the Ram moment or are we in the Pandavas moment? And if you are in the Ram moment, don't wait for the perfect plan. Just move, adapt and stabilize. Sounds harsh, but yes, that's the reality. And if you are in the Pandavas moment, don't pretend or don't act as if you don't see that coming. Prepare, build your capabilities, build your team, and get ready. So before you prepare your roadmap for what you do next, it is very much needed for you to understand in which moment you are in. Because every conversation that you are going to have is going to change what is going to come next. Next one. Neither Ram nor Pandavas tried to win the war alone. Let's begin with Ram again. He didn't wait for a perfect army. In fact, he has a very unconventional army, not humans. He has Vanara Sena. They trusted in his mission. Transformations are successful not because you have the biggest team, but because you have committed people. And for Pandavas, even before the first arrow was fired, they made efforts to understand who will stand by them. Even before the war began, they started understanding the people. Because transformation is not an individual sport. Whenever you begin with transformation, most of the people start with a roadmap, and very few leaders actually start building the coalition or the teams. Because they understand transformation is not about implementing the technology, but it's all about people believing in it and getting committed for it. In every transformation, you find three kinds of people: the champions, the resistors, and Bhishma. Let's discuss about them. So next time, whenever you are doing a transformation, take some time, draw 3 columns. The champions. These are not the people who support you for everything. They support you because they understood the mission. They understood the purpose of transformation. Resistors are not the people who are against you for everything. It is a simple understanding that their concerns haven't reached you yet. And Bhishma, that person in the organization who has the capability to influence the transformation, not because of the designation, not because of the title, but because everyone in the organization wants to talk to that person, everyone in the organization respects that person, and everyone in the organization trusts that person. So when you are trying to start your transformation, find out that Bhishma and gain that person's trust so that it will be smooth. That's what capable leaders do, because they understand transformation is not about just implementing the technology, but it's all about the people. So they understand their concerns, they understand the influence, and then they navigate through it. And that's when the transformation becomes successful. This is the most human moment in both the epics, at least for me. Arjuna was not afraid of losing the war. He was afraid of winning it. Because on the other side, he didn't see the enemies. He saw his teachers, he saw his family, he saw his friends. Usually, every AI transformation comes with some change, a role, a responsibility, or a ways of working. Transformation is not difficult because transformation is not difficult because technology is changing. It is difficult because people are changing. If you are at any point of time in the position of Arjuna and hesitating, remember it's not fear, it's conscience. And Krishna told Arjuna not to discard his feelings and emotions, but he told him to understand the bigger purpose. Anything is successful when you understand the bigger purpose. Discomfort, it's not a signal to stop, but is exactly telling you that you are carrying something which is very important. Most of the transformations roadmap may not cover this. They usually take weeks talking about what are the tools they are going to deploy, but very rarely they talk about how the roles are getting evolved, what skills are going to get more valued. And next time when you are going to do a transformation, go to your team and ask this question: are you completely sure of how your role is going to be transformed with this thing? And if they are silent, they are filling that silence with assumptions. Assumptions become fear, and fear becomes resistance. People don't resist change. Remember, people don't resist change. They resist if they can't see the future. So, if you help them see that, they'll help you build it. And as I told you, I am just giving AI as a backdrop, but these are all the things that you can even take care of in your life as well. How many of you know Ramasetu? Almost every one of it. And then you also know that it is not built as a monument, but it was built for a purpose, to rescue Sita. The cause which is worth crossing the ocean for. And similarly, every AI transformation has a cause. And transformation stall sometimes because the data pipeline is not reliable, accuracy is not measured properly but assumed, or sometimes the model gets changed when the real data arrives. So it could be any one of those reasons. And the most important thing is, some of you might have built the things one increment at a time, and someone might have run multiple experiments at a time. Different disciplines, but then the outcome is going to be the same. And you must remember one thing, like whatever the reasons we have discussed about the AI challenges, they are actually the engineering realities that determine whether something is ready for scaling. They are the foundations. So remember, first foundation, then scale, not the other way around. So next time, before you even scale, ask these 3 questions. Have we proved it works with real-time data, not any test data? And do people trust it? As I told you, transformation is all about people's trust. And can we repeat it with consistency? It's not one pilot or one demo, but then can we repeat that with consistency? And if the answer is no, strengthen the foundation. We are not slowing the transformation. And that's the fear which most of the leaders will have. No, we are not slowing the foundation, but we are preparing it. We are having a strong foundation for it to sustain. And lastly, this is what every transformation will eventually end with. AI is successful, launch is done, everybody is celebrating, but both the epics tell us a different story. Rama did not consider coronation as the end, but then he considered it as the beginning, as a king's responsibility. And Yudhishthira's stories makes it more clear. After the war, he did not even celebrate. He went to Bhishma, who is on the bed of arrows, to learn governance from him. Because victory has earned and governance has to be learned. That's what he did. So at any point of time, launching AI is not transformation, but living with it is called as a real transformation. And victory is not the finish line, but it's just the foundation line that are going to come next. So as a Monday morning action, try to find a way in which you can embed AI into the ways of working. It could be an OKR, it could be a governance rule, or it could be a team ritual. So if you notice, none of these things need a budget approval. None of these things need a steering committee. They just all start with conversations, just simple conversations. And you have 5 Monday morning action items, and you are good to have that conversations, which is going to help you to be successful. And in the end, epics are a playbook for us to reflect every day on our challenges for solutions. That's exactly the reason why I told you, use the lens of reading them as case studies, as leadership case studies, and not as some mythology or some stories. So if you ever believe that you have learned a new way of navigating through your problems, then I am interested to continue those conversations. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my LinkedIn profile. And one last thing, I hope you all now understand that you are not the only person who had uncertainties. You are not the first person, and you are not going to be the last person as well, because for centuries, lot many leaders have wrestled through the same difficulties, same responsibilities and same challenges. Thank you all for thinking with me today.
Thank you so much, Subbu, for the great session and telling us technology in mythology.
Thank you.
That was very nice session. So let's welcome Ashley to felicitate Subbu for this great session. Come on guys, show some energy. I didn't know so many technical things are there in our mythology, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So this was something unique that we came to know about it. Thank you so much.
Mike. Okay, the organizers are more interested in this last thing, which is a Tollywood actor. So, how many of you saw me in social media so far? Oh, okay, I shouldn't raise my hands. Okay, pretty much of you, thanks a lot. So, I'm not only a delivery leader with entire India, but also I am a social media influencer with around 1 million followers across. And I'm also a Tollywood actor. One of my recent films as a lead got released recently. And actually the producer was happy because he got 50% of returns and he shared only 50% of my share so far. Which usually happens in all the production houses. And then I was happy with that, and then yesterday I got to know that that movie is also going to get dubbed in Tamil. Yeah, and after all these things, I thought he is just giving me a prank, but then he shared me the censor copy, and then I had to believe it now. And one more web series is going to get released maybe by the end of this month in AHA, which is an OTT channel, popular OTT channel in Telugu, and another web series in which I acted with Jagapati Babu Garu, the main villain in Pushpa. So that is getting released maybe in 2 more months in Sony Live, and 2 more films are on cards for me. Maybe I wish by next time I can share my journey in RSG as a keynote speaker. Sir, ready, sir?
This is called marketing. You get a chance, you do it.
So that's why I said I am an influencer.
Yes, you are. You are a good influencer. Thank you so much, Subbu, for this great session. And congratulations and all the very best for all the upcoming things that are lined up. So how was the session, guys? This is good way of telling how was the session.